Hi guys, you're welcome to today's class. It's gonna be another exciting moment. I can see Modestus, I can see Fikayo, I can see Kazim. So you guys are welcome. You want to type where you are joining from as usual. Let's keep the energy up. Today is going to be exciting because I'll be introducing you to the software we used to design, right? Mobile app, website, and all of that. So probably some of you might be familiar, but I don't want to assume that. The goal of the 2 weeks class is to take you on a step-by-step process. I can see Benson on a step-by-step process where you too can start doing stuff for yourself, right? So let's just get right into it. Um, I think we should use like 1 minute to introduce ourselves. Benson from Lagos. Stephen, good evening to you. Army Arts from Lagos. Chukunonso. Amazing, amazing, amazing. So let's just get right into it. It's going to be a bit longer than normal because I will introduce you guys to the software and we'll do practice. Remember, I said every day has assignment, right? Today is one of those days we'll be doing our assignment. So what I'm going to do right now is to just jump into the class. So let's get into it. I'll share my screen now. All right, I see all of you. Frederick, Covenant from Enugu, all of you, I see you. Don't worry. Let's just get into class. So today I'm going to teach you guys how to use the Figma app. And here's how it works. You go over to your Google. Figma is a web app, right? There's also a desktop software for Figma, but I advise people to make use of web app. When you are very familiar with the environment, you can now download the desktop app, right? So this is what it looks like. You go to your browser and type figma.com. If you've not signed up on your Figma account, right, I think you should watch the video I sent to the WhatsApp group on how to do that. So once you type figma.com, it's going to bring you to a page like this, right? Yours might look different because you are new. I've been designing. So first thing you want to take note of is it's still loading. You are going to see your recent file, what you've been working on recently. You can see 2 weeks design training. I opened this file and it's been open for like last time I worked there was like 5 minutes ago. Everything you are seeing here, things I've been working on recently, right? You can see huge icons, QuantCorp, Principal, portfolio, my UI design. So what you get to see is your recent file. In today's class, we'll be touching templates in a bit because we need to get some icons, right, for our designs. Then first thing you want to do is to click on your new design. This design button means open a new design file. So if I click on it, I'm going to open the environment. You see what it looks like, right? So what I'll be doing in this class is I'm going to explain everything you should know as a beginner about this environment. So let me just jump to my notes. I have a note already for this stuff. So let's get into it. So the first thing I need you to know is that I'll move in between my notes. So first thing I need you to know is that the Figma environment is divided into 4 parts. The first part is the layer panel, which is what we have on this side that is pink. Is called the layer panel. See where my mouse is hovering. Let me even help you guys for free. So if you are making use of your phone, keep it on, excuse me, don't watch like this, watch like this, so that it's going to be on landscape so that you can get a bigger view of what I'm doing, right? So keep your phone on landscape mode to get a bigger view of better learning experience. Let's just call it like that. So that's how it is. You go to your figma.com, then you click on new design file. Let's do that again. figma.com. Once I press enter, it takes me to the landing page. Is it landing page? Like the software is open already, so you get to see your all of these are my recent designs, recently viewed. Then I'm going to look for my new file button, which is this particular one. It's loading this first button here, but let's allow it to load. So once it's active, you click on it and it's going to open a new design file. You can see it's design, feed jam, slide, boss. So if you want to do feed jam, but let's just stay on design, you click on it, it's going to open a new design file like this. I need you to know that, okay, Figma software is divided into 4 parts. We have what's it called? The layer panel, right? I call it layer panel because you can see these layers. Everything you are doing on your design Canva, it's going to be um, highlighted here. Everything you are doing on your design Canva will be highlighted there, right? So this is called the layer panel. The layer panel has some major things I would like you to know about in course of this class. The first one is your title. Let's go to the file I open. So you can see your title here. So your title will help you to name your file or rename it. So if I call this file design class DSIGN and maybe later I want to change it to UI UX design, I'll just double click on it and type UI UX design class. So if I want to change the name again, I'll double click on it. I'll type Busayo design class DSIGN. So you can see that, right? So your what's it called? The title is where you name your file. You want to give your file a distinct name so that if you are looking for the file subsequently, right, you can get access to it. The next thing I want you to know about the layer panel is that it has pages. So in a particular file, you can open multiple pages, right? So just take for instance, look at my own. I have page 1, page 2, page 3. The amazing part is that you can also rename your page by double clicking on it. I can call this first page or whatever name I want to give to it. You press enter. So if I double click on it again, I can call it page 1, and I press enter. So you can name your page, you can add more pages, right? So imagine you are doing a website that has a lot of pages. Let's say one file is not enough. You can add multiple pages, you can create components and other stuff with multiple pages, right? The next thing I want you to know about the layer panel is the layers. And I've explained that this small toggle button, now if I close it, you won't see anything there. But if I open it, you will see what the layer look like. So everything I have on this Canva currently is on this layer. You understand? So if I click on this one, you are going to see it in the layer. Can you see it? If I click on title, you will see the title. If I click on design Canva, so whatever I have here, let me even type something new. Let's say I type my name, Prince. Prince. Can you see Prince on the layer? So whatever I type on my design Canva is going to appear on the layer, right? So that's what the layer tool does for you, or the layer panel rather. Then you can see this Figma icon here. It means if I want to go back to my home page, let me do that. I don't want to close this. Let me go to this Busayo. If I click on the Figma file, you can see main menu, right? I'm hovering on it. So if I click on it, it takes me back to what's it called, to the main page. You can see back to files. You understand? So that's how it works. So for layer panel, we've talked about how to name your file. We've talked about the pages, how you can create multiple pages. You don't need to create multiple pages except you need it. You understand? If I go to page 2 now, I don't go there. You will see some of my design files there. Same thing for page 3. So you can only create multiple pages when you need them. You understand? And let me even mention this. I'm using a Pro Figma currently. So if your Figma is not pro, maybe you can do just, let's say, 3 pages or max 3 pages, right? But if it's pro, you can do unlimited pages as much as your RAM can carry. So the next thing I want us to know about the Figma file, I'm saying this, Figma is divided into 4 parts. The first is the layer panel, right? And I've explained the title, the pages, the layers, and the Figma, this button that takes you to the main menu. If I click on the drop down, I can do some other actions like new design file, edit this one, just some stuff you can play around. But then if you need the desktop version, you can come over here and see open in desktop. I've downloaded mine, so there's a desktop version in my listing already. So if you don't have, it's going to ask you to download desktop version, right? So that's how this menu work. So the next part I want us to talk about is our toolbox. But before I go into it in detail, I need you, let me just mention the 4 parts. I need to be sure we are following. If you are following, type I'm following. If you are following, type I'm following, type I'm following. If you are following, type I'm following. I want to be sure we are following. I need to be sure we are following. Please type I'm following. Okay, I can see one I'm following. All right, Steven, thank you. So let's continue. So we've talked about the layer panel, the toolbox, which is this part you are seeing here. What you are seeing on my screen is a screenshot. I had to screenshot my Figma environment, right, to get this for explanation's sake. So we've talked about the layer panel, and I've pointed out pages, title, layer. Next is our toolbox, right, which is this side you are seeing here. After the toolbox, we have the control panel, which is this side you are seeing. If you are just joining us, you can put your phone on landscape mode for a better view. This is my control panel. I'm going to explain that. Then the fourth part is our design canvas. The design canvas is this empty space and is as big as you can imagine, right? I can keep zooming out. I can scroll up, scroll down. To zoom out, let me quickly explain this. If you are using your mouse trackpad on your laptop, to zoom out, you do like this. Zoom in, zoom out, something like this. That's how you zoom out. But if you are using your external mouse, let me get my external mouse. You use your scroll button to zoom out and zoom in, right? But if you are using your laptop mouse trackpad, you use this stuff here that has the click. You do like this. That's how you zoom out and zoom in. You need all of these things I'm saying. So please take note. If you are using the external mouse, you use your scroll button. If you are using your laptop mouse, you use the trackpad in and out. So I'm going to zoom out now by just doing like the way I demonstrated. So the design canvas is very big, and that's where you do your designs, right? I'm going to explain that. Don't worry, at the end of this class, we are going to do one design. Then we'll continue in the subsequent days of our training, right? So let's talk about the shape tool. The shape tool has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up to this point, right? So the first is your move tool. The first tool you have on your shape tool is called the move tool. The move tool helps you, which is this one. There's a drop down icon there. If I click on it, you will see other tools in it, right? So the short key for move is V. Then the next tool is your hand tool. If I click on hand tool, I can click and just drag my page like this. You understand? Once I click and all of that. Then for the move tool helps you to select items, right? So if I draw a box like this, and I want to move it from this point to the next point, there's no way I'm going to move this box without clicking on it first or selecting it. So the move tool, also known as the select tool, it helps you select items and move them from one point to another in the Figma canvas. So I'll just click on that, hold my click button and drag. So I can click and drag like that to any points in the design canvas I want to keep that. So that's what the move tool does for us. The next tool under this move tool is our scale tool. The scale tool helps you to scale elements proportionally. I need you to be clear on this. proportionally in the sense that all four sides are going to scale. Let me duplicate this. To duplicate an element or an item on the Figma canvas, you press alternate on your keyboard, hold click alternate, then you drag. That's how you duplicate. Click alternate, drag to the position you want. If I do that again, I'll select this, hold click on my keyboard, press alternate and drag. So that's how you duplicate. So if I want to apply my scale tool now, see what's going to happen. So if I drag this from this side, I'm not using scale mode. See what's going to happen. The sides can be distorted. You see that? But if I apply scale mode now, I keep it on K and I select this object and I drag, all four sides will increase together. That's what the scale tool does for you. It helps you to increase elements or items proportionally. All sides increase or reduce proportionally. But to go back to move, I either press V or I close this here on the control panel, right? Let me even mention the control panel works with respect to whatever you are selecting. So if I select this text now, see what's going to happen. I'm selecting a shape now. You see that it's showing me the width of the shape, the height, the angle. If I tilt this a bit by clicking and doing like this, you see that the angle is changing, right? You can see that, right? I can just come back here and type 0, keep it how it should be. But if I select my text, see that typography has come up, unlike the shape. So your control panel changes with respect to whatever you are selecting. You understand? So that's for the move tool. The next tool on our toolbox is called the frame tool. The frame is where you do your designs. The frame is where you do your designs, right? And this is how it works. So if I want to do a mobile app now, I'll just come here, click on the frame like that. You see that the control panel has changed. I told you the control panel changes with respect to whatever you are selecting on your toolbox or your design canvas. So I've selected frame. We have phone frame, we have tablet frame, we have desktop frame, we have other frames, like if I want to design Apple Watch and all of that, social media flyer. Apart from app, you can do other designs with Figma. So for phone, I'll click on this drop down here, put your phone on landscape for a better view. I'll select, I like using iPhone 14 and 13, this one. I'll click on it and you see the phone frame. You can see it has just appeared. If I want to design a tablet, I'll come over to the frame again and close this toggle button, open the tablet, then I click on, you can see the different size. So if I want to design for a web, I'll do the same thing. I'll click on frame, close the tablet, open desktop. I can select any of these, but I like using desktop. Or when I was using a 16 inches laptop, I like designing. But recently, based on my experience at work, as when I started, I either choose 14 or 16 inches based on the laptop I'm using, right? But as I got professional experience, I realized that when we're designing for web, we use what's it called? Desktop. So I'll just select this desktop and you see it. So this is what it looks like. Another thing you need to know is that these frames can be expanded, right? So imagine, let's say I go to this website now. This is free. People are going to come here. So you see that this part where you can see, this whole part where you can see can be likened to this part, this white space. So if I want to design something that has to do with me scrolling like this, right? How do I do something like this? I'm going to click on the desktop and drag it down so it becomes longer than the normal. So I will do all my design to the point, to the last point where my scrolling is going to stop. You can see the footer, right? So this is how it works. So those frames, same thing for your mobile. You might have seen some applications or maybe a website you are surfing and you keep scrolling, right? If you want to achieve that, you can increase the length by just dragging like that. You only do this when there's an overflow in your content, right? So I think I'll just stop here at this point for the frame. So we have our mobile frame. Let me undo that. To undo is to press Ctrl Z, right? I'll undo again so that I can undo the desktop. So for the frames, we have mobile frame, we have iPad, we have desktop. The next tool I want to talk about is the next one, which is our shape tool. Shape tool. Shape tool, with the shape tool, you can draw different kind of shapes for your design. The shape tool helps you to draw different kind of shape. So whenever you see this toggle button, it means if you click on it, you will see other options or menu. So I've just done that. So we have rectangle, we have lines, we have arrow, we have ellipse, we have polygon, we have star. You can also import an image. So I will apply all of this in this class so that you too can try it out when you are watching the video. So if I click on rectangle, if you want to draw a perfect square, you hold shift and you click and drag. Hold shift, click and drag. If you don't hold shift and you click on square, you can draw any size of square, right? But once I click on shift on my keyboard, now it becomes perfect. If I release shift, it can be any size. I'll hold shift again, it's perfect. Same thing for other shapes. Let's say I want to draw an ellipse now. If I don't hold shift, see the way it's doing, right? But if I hold shift, it becomes a perfect circle. So to get a perfect circle, a perfect shape, please hold shift while you are clicking and dragging to draw. So let's get other shape like rectangle or polygon. Remember I said your control panel, which is this right side, the layer panel is the left side of your screen, the canvas is the middle part, the control panel is the right part, then your toolbox is below. So the control panel changes with respect to whatever you are selecting. So I'm selecting this polygon now, which is a triangle. Look at this place now. You can see the count. If I increase it to 4, it's going to increase. So I can keep increasing like that to any size, right? If I select this ellipse, you see that that part is no longer there. We just have the width and the height, right? And other stuff we'll talk about as we start designing. So the next shape is a line. So you click and drag to draw a line. If you want a perfect line, so you hold shift, it becomes perfect. You see that. If I want to draw another one, I'll just click, drag, hold shift to make it perfect. Once I'm done, I'll press enter, or I click outside, right? You click outside the box. If you want arrow, you can click here and draw your arrow, hold shift for perfect arrow and all of that. So if I zoom out, you get to see what I'm drawing. For star, you've seen some of these platforms that will ask you to rate them, right? So this is star, and you can see it, right? For the star, you can adjust it to any ratio you want. You can increase the number of counts like that. You understand? And you can change the sharpness. You see what I'm doing, right? You can play around this. This is 6 star. I want 5. So I'll just reduce the counts to 5. So when you want to do something like review, you make use of this star. Let me show you one of my designs. So you see some of these things in action. So this is a project I'm currently working on for a client. Let me show you where I use star. Okay, see this one now. So this is leave a rating. You can see this. So this is like, I don't tell you what the project is about, but you can see me using star. So if you want to do designs like this, right, that's how it works basically. So what other shape do we have here? We've done all of this apart from image. If you want to import your image from your desktop or even a video, right, you can do that here by just clicking on import image. It's going to open your desktop. Then you can just click open. You see that, right? So this is how the shape tool works. So the next tool I would like us to talk about is the pen tool. The pen tool helps you, it's like the line tool, but this time around it helps you draw continuous line, right? So if I click on the pen tool now, I can just click here, move my mouse, freehand, like freehand to click to the next point, move my mouse, click to the next point, move my mouse, click to the next point, move my mouse. So the pen tool helps you to draw continuous line like that. When it's ready means it's perfect line and all of that. So once you are done drawing, press enter and you have your shape, right? Okay, another thing I should talk about is all these shapes you see here. Remember I said the control panel works with respect to whatever you are selecting. So if you click on any shape, you come over here, you can see the color. So there is no fill color currently, but we have the stroke color, we have the stroke width. This one is the stroke width. If I change the color to, I clicked on this black box, I can just move it like this, then select that color. See, I've selected it now. You see that it's now blue. If I want to increase the weight, I'll change it from 1 to like 3. See that it's now thicker. You understand? So same thing for your shape. You can select the shape, the color, you can change it to red. You can use this to move your colors, change to blue, change to purple, whatever color you want, right? We are going to do design tonight, don't worry. Then if I want to give this shape an outline, I'll click on it, come to stroke. Stroke is for outline, fill is for the fill color, right? So if I press plus, if I want to take out this fill color, I'll press minus. The shape is there, but it's not filled. If I press plus, it's going to add a fill color, right? Same thing for the stroke. If I press plus, I'll give it a stroke. There's a black stroke now. If I change it to, let's say yellow, you can see that, right? So this is how you just play around this stuff. If I want to increase the thickness, I'll change it from 1 to like 4. I don't like this color. Let me change it to something more yellowing. All right. This doesn't make sense still, but if I remove the fill color now, either I minus it or I hide it, you see what just happened. So this and many more can be done on this platform called Figma. How do you delete an item? You click and drag over those items, then you press delete on your keyboard. I can do like that here, press delete. Let's say I want to clean up my design canvas. You just click and select, you press delete like that, or you select by clicking, you press delete. The next tool is to escape from any of this, so you click on move, so you can move. So the next tool I want to talk about is our text tool. Very, very important. So if I click on text and I zoom out, I can type my name, Prince, top rated. You can see that, right? So use your text to type anything you want. And yeah, the next is our comment. You can also edit your text, like change your font style. You see what's happening here? But we don't use some of these stylish text to design, except maybe you are doing a landing page or something. But for normal mobile app, you want to use text that are legible, right? Legible, easy to read and all of that. So you can also change your font color. You can change your font size to something smaller, right? And all of that. Somebody might be asking, what's the standard font size? I'm going to tell you, don't worry, when we start designing. You can change your font color also, red, blue, whatever color you like, and we'll have that just like that. You can put yellow, and that's how the text work. The last two I'm going to tell you about for now is called comment. So like I said, I'm going to give you guys assignments at the end of this class and at the end of each of our practical class. So one of the ways I'm going to review your work, when you do your assignment, you'll be required to share your link. How do you share your link? We've not talked about the control panels very well, but I just need to know that the control panel has design and prototype. So design is how you do your normal static design, but prototype is when you want to animate it, you want to display it or demo it, the way that app or website is going to look like in real life. So that's how we'll come to use prototype. You can see that as I clicked on prototype, it's already showing me the mobile frame, right? If I don't want to use iPhone 14, let's say I want to present on the desktop or all of this, you can say if I just select any of them, it's going to display how. So we'll do this also maybe on the, let's say on the day 4 or something. We're going to prototype our design, right? So but how do you share your work when you are done? You come over to this share button. Let's go back to design mode. You click on share. Any file you create, you are going to automatically become the owner. So if I click on copy link, you see this link copy. The link has been copied. If I go over to WhatsApp, or let me go to a web. So once you copy your link like that, you paste it on WhatsApp, and I'm going to click on it. Anywhere that clicks on this link will get access to that file, right? So if I press enter, see what's going to happen. It's going to open that file for me. So this is how you share your work, especially for collaborative purpose. So when you share your work like this, it's loading. When it opens, I'll come back here. When you share your work, one of the ways you know that I've reviewed your work or checked it out is that I'm going to leave a comment. So the comments, you can see prints here, right? It means the other file has opened. Look at it. So I'm on the file already. See, I'm in the two file. That's why my name is showing. So anybody that is collaborating with you, you can see the person and know what the person is doing, right? So I'm going to just close one so I can just stay on. The second one will go off very soon. So one of the ways to know that I've seen your work is I'm going to leave a comment. So if you click on comment and I say something like well done Busayo, and I press enter, when Busayo comes to her file and she click on my name, she will see what I said. Busayo too can now reply, thank you, sir. You understand? So the comment helps people to chat, collaborate, and do all of that stuff, right? Yeah. So once you are done, you can resolve the comments. But if you are not done, you can just close, right? And that comment will remain there until you resolve it. If you resolve it, it's going to go off, right? So that's what the comment does. I'll go back to my move tool. I'll click this. So the next, like I said, is the design canvas. So basically, I've told you the layer panel, the toolbox, the control panel, right? And okay, for the control panel, let's just do some of these things. Let's talk about position. If I click on any, let's say I bring a frame now, a phone frame, and I select iPhone 13. So if I bring an item and I put inside the frame, the reason why we're using frames, like frame is just like our paper, the canvas is like our table. So if you want to draw, maybe as an architect, you are not going to draw directly on the table. You are going to place your paper first, then you draw your paper. So your frame is like that paper for your design, right? So if I do something like this now, and yeah, maybe I give it a corner radius of 60. This can be a search bar, right? Yeah, it can be a search bar. So position is like you choosing where you want your element to be in your frame. So if I click on left, it goes left. If I click on middle, it stays in the middle. If I click on right, it stays there. If I take it back to middle, top, bottom, center. So position just helps you position your element where you want it to be, right? So that's basically what it is. We've talked about the fill and the stroke. We've talked about colors. We've talked about the weight of lines and so many other things we might be doing. You understand? So let me now talk a bit about UI design generally. So we did introduction in the last class. Now I'm introducing you to Figma. So Figma is the software we use for our design, but I want to talk about UI design generally. Okay, so when it comes to UI UX design, we have elements of design and components of design. If you are following, type elements or components, any of the two. We have element of design and components of design. So what are elements of design? Elements of design are items that make up your design. It's just like when you are building a house, you bring block, you bring sand, you bring wood, you bring different components or elements put together to build the house. That's how UI design is. So we'll put design elements together to form our design. Some of the elements we have are text, shape, image, icon, color, and pattern, right? Text, shape, image, icon. Let me even show you while I'm doing this. So this is a screenshot of a mobile app screen. You can see this screenshot, right? So you will see some of those elements I'm talking about, like the text. You use your text to write, to communicate. Icon, you can see this search icon, you can see this menu icon, you can see this gift icon, you can see the your status. Excuse me, let me drink water, please. Mine. Oh my. Oh, so that's how it works, right? So you can see icons, right? Let me now know if you are following. So image, if I go up now, you see this image. Let's go over to this other design. You see the image of a car. Which other element do we have? We have color. So you can see the blue color. So let me just ask you guys, this is what we'll be designing today, right? So can you point out some of the elements you are seeing in this design? Point out some of the elements you can see on this design right now. For me, I can see this hello Vanessa, which is a text. I can see this image. You can see this icon. Did I mention shape? Of course I did. So shape is one of the elements. So you can see this shape now, like this circle shape. You can see this rectangle shape. You can see this button. So elements are the items you combine together to form our mobile app. So the element sounds like the ingredients. So once your ingredients are combined together, you will definitely form an amazing app. You can see this image, right? Don't worry, at the end of today, we are going to design this thing you are seeing right now. That's going to be our first trial. You understand? So before we get into our design, let's quickly talk about components. So components are also elements, but at this point, they are combination of two or more elements. You understand? Components are combination of two or more elements. So take for instance, now this is a button, right? We have button, we have card, we have list, we have navigation bar, we have text field, we have search bar. So all of these things I mentioned, I think I have them on this design as well. So for instance, this is a button. You can see that the button has a rectangle shape and the text. So combining two elements together will give us a component. Look at this search bar. The search bar has the search text, um, the search icon, and this filter button, right? So this search bar is a component. If you are following me, type I'm following. This is a card. A card is a containment. It contains image, text, action buttons, and all of that. So you can see this card showing us, this is a travel app, by the way. So when people want to travel, they download this kind of app to check out places they want to go to in that country, right? So this is Brazil. So if I'm going to look at it, select your next trip, Asia. If I'm going to Asia, Europe, Brazil, North America, blah blah blah. So you select any of the continents you select, you are going to see different countries and places you can explore. So this is a travel app, and this is what we'll be designing in course of our 2 weeks training. The beautiful thing about this is going to be, we will not just design, we are going to prototype it, like make it functional, and we'll test it on our phone, right? So we're not just doing design, we'll come over to prototype, make it work, that when I tap on this see more, it's going to go to the next screen. When I do anything, it goes to the next screen like that, right? So let me check if you guys are following. You guys say you are following. Amazing, amazing. So a quick one, we're about to go into our design now, and our design may take up to 30 more minutes from now. If you are in, okay, no need to do that. Let's just stop at I'm following. So but before we get into our design, I've talked about the key things you need to know. So when you say you know UI UX design to an extent, or you are coming into the field, these are basic things you should know, right? One of my students got internship with a company in the UK. And what was his interview? His interview was that he should design a landing page that has this, and this. They gave him some of the components they want to see on the landing page, right? And he was able to interpret it. So if you are a designer, I would have just come to Figma and start doing design. But no, 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 I'm walking you through step by step so that even when I'm no longer with you, you can know some of these things and build on it. Remember, the 2 weeks class is to help you launch a successful career in UI UX design, right? So this is like the foundation you need to know. So first, when it comes to design, you need to know which one is elements and which one is component, right? And I've explained that elements are text, shape, image, icon, color, pattern. Let me show you what a pattern look like. So look at this graph, you see this dots inside it. Is a fill, but it's a pattern kind of fill. It's not a solid color. So you can see this designer using pattern. See another one here. So they are using pattern in the design. So these are the elements. Then when you combine two or more elements together, you are going to form a component. So we're about to get into practicals right now, and I'll be showing us some things I need us to pay attention to. But before we do that, yeah, some of you are in this class, you've not subscribed. Take a moment, 2 minutes. If you have not subscribed, take a moment to subscribe right now. Take a moment to subscribe right now. If you have not subscribed, take a moment to subscribe right now, and we'll get going. There are three things I'll be telling us about when it comes to our today's design. First is we're going to go outside Figma to get some resources for free. Don't worry, we'll get it for free. Some of you might be asking, sir, how do we get this image? This will be designing all of this stuff that we're going to prototype it. So how do you get your own image? Come over to a website called Dribble, DRI triple B BBBLE.com. If you're a designer, these are platforms you should know. It's very easy to sign up on this platform. You just need your email. Just where you open your Figma account, that's how you open some of these accounts. We use them for different purposes. One of it is to get inspiration. Another one is to see check out trends and a whole lot of stuff, right? Then you can also use as a portfolio. So what we want to get from here now is that image we'll be designing. I'm doing this because I want you to be able to do it by yourself when you are doing your practical. So once you come to dribble.com, you say I'm not even logged in right now. So I'll just come and search. The name of that image is Ronas, RONASIT travel, TRAVEL. So if you type Ronas IT travel on this search bar, you can see this search bar now has cancel icon, search icon, and all of that. Then the text. If I press enter, it should take me to the page where I can find that image. So this is the image here, right? So So you want to click on it. Then next thing you want to do, you right click and click on save image as. You can call this sample one, SAMP. um this is not good. Okay, see what you want to do. If you can save the image directly, I think this format is not making sense. It's not JPEG. Normally nice image should be JPEG, but this is a WEBP file. So just right click, copy the image, go over to the file you have opened. I'm coming to my 2 weeks in this case. Then you come here, right click, paste here. So that's how you get this one. There are two different images there, so I'll close this one like that. um wow, these are other screens for that image, but we're not focusing on that one for now. Let's just do the one we can do. Then you take this second one. So if I'm to interpret this design, this is the home screen, right? So when you click on this see more Brazil, this is the next page. You understand? When you click on this iconic Brazil, that's this page. So we're going to design all of these screens, prototype it and check it how it's going to work on our phone, right? We won't rush the design. We'll take our time, maybe break it into two parts, and boom, I've copied that. So I'll just go over to my Canva, right click and paste here. Everything I'm doing, the way I teach my training, I break it down so that anybody, even primary school students, can catch up. So once you've gotten your image, that's the first step. The next thing you want to do is you get your frame. We're using our mobile frame, right? So I'll click on frame, come over to phone. I told you guys I like using iPhone 13 and 14. So I'll select iPhone 13 and 14. Then we have three basic screen here. The home screen. When I click on see more, the next screen, that's the I can call this Rio de Janeiro screen. Then when I click on this iconic Brazil, that's this button, it takes me to this screen. Then maybe we'll just do, when we book a tour, we're going to put a success screen at the end of the day so that our prototype will make sense, right? So I've gotten my screen. The next thing I want to do right now is to start designing. Let me name this home screen. I hope we'll be able to do a lot today. Anywhere we can stop, we'll stop, right? I will continue our next class. Let's call this the home screen. You can name your frame by just double clicking on it, on the title. Then I'll call this home screen. Press enter. Then if you look at this home screen, we have our text, we have our image and all of that. Follow what I'm doing, please follow what I'm doing. So what I want to do first is I'm going to apply my layout guide. Layout guide helps you to create margin for your work. Let me explain it. So if you check this design now, you see that this hello Vanessa, welcome to trip guide, the search, the select. If I keep scrolling up like this, you'll notice that they are aligned to each other, right? But the navbar is inside, is centralized. But notice that the space between here and the edge of the screen is called the margin. And we have the same thing here. You see from this image, as I keep scrolling down like that, this thing is tilted. So that's called the margin, right? If I come over to this place, so you see the same thing. The Rio de Brazil, the upcoming, as I keep scrolling like that. So the way to achieve this is called margin, right? And how can we achieve that? We are going to use something called style guide, layout guide. Look at it. So I'll click on plus. It comes in grid form, like boxes. I'm going to change it from grid to column. For mobile, I like using 4 columns, so I'll change from 5 to 4. If I press enter, it's going to change. Then let me take this up. I click and drag it. So for the margin, you see that margin is 0. I'll keep it at 16. For mobile, margin is 16. So I have that white space. So anything I'm designing, I won't design outside this stuff like that. If I click on my screen, I can come over to the layout guide and hide it by clicking on the eyes. So I've hidden it. You see that the spacing on both sides are equal. So I like using my layout guide for my design. So I'll turn it on. So let's see what we can work on today. And if you check this travel stuff, if you go deeper, you will find the fonts they used and the colors as well. You understand? So you want to make your app look exactly, or if not exactly, like 90% close to what you are replicating. You understand? So let's get into work. So the font style they are using here is called Instrument Sans. It's something we have on Figma. For the color, I know how to get my colors, no big deal. So which one do we create first? Let me just type hello Vanessa. I've clicked on my text. I'll come here and type HELLO. See that it's taking the last font we used, VANESSA. There's a comma after the hello. Okay, there's something I usually do. I think I should do it here right now. So see what I'm going to do. I will duplicate this frame and I'm going to explain to you why I do my designs like this. If I hold Control while selecting this, I can crop this part now. I'm trying to achieve something. I'll crop this. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want the height of my frame to be the same height with this image I'm trying to replicate. So I'll bring it close to my frame. You see that it's bigger. I'll press scale on my keyboard to scale it. It has gone to scale mode. I'll just take it like that. Reason is because to remove scale is V. I want my text and everything to look almost like what we are doing here. So first thing I want to do is that, see how I do my design is on scale mode. I'll click on cancel to take it out. I try to map out the areas that will accommodate all of these elements, right? So see what I'm going to do now. Since I'm maintaining my margin, I'll first map out the area for this time and my network bar. I'll close this like that. Let's assume that's the area. So for the Vanessa, I'll duplicate this with alternate. You see that because I've been able to bring it close to my design, I can use my eye to gauge it. You understand? So Vanessa and this welcome to blah blah blah, and the picture will take this space. My search bar comes next. I will duplicate this for my search bar. The search bar is as big as the Vanessa, but I can just make it 60. This is the height, this is the width. So let's do 58 for the search bar. So the next one is my next trip. Select your trip, which is this. That's the trip, and the Asia, Europe. You see me, I'm just mapping out the area. Then this big frame now, let me take the Vanessa outside. So this big frame is coming next. It's going to be long. You just see me now using my shape to map out areas. So the next is our navigation bar. I'll use alternate to duplicate that, and I have that. Then the next is this guy, this thing here, this iPhone stuff. So where do we start from? Let's build our navigation bar. How do you build a navigation bar? You right click. Okay, let's put our hello Vanessa. Remember our text is Instrument Sans. So this is it, Instrument Sans. I'll just bring this here. See that the Vanessa has taken the whole page because the font is 48. I'll change it to like 24. Then make it bold. But if I do that, I'll duplicate it and type welcome to trip guide. Is it guide or glide? Trip glide. Then I'll draw a circle for my image. Before I do it, let me just reduce this. So basic font for mobile is font 14 to font 16. Yes, if you are doing normal body text, font 14 to font 16. This is a bit thick. It's not all that regular. And this is bold. So for the Vanessa, I'll select it and I'll change from regular to semi bold is fine. Then for the tip, is there medium? Medium is fine. But notice that this color and this color are not the same, right? So I'm going to there's something called color picker. Remember, I told you I'm going to get the color instead of just you can choose to get this color code or whatever you want, but I like using color picker for my design. So I'll come to this fill color. I'm selecting that guide. I'll click on it, take this color picker, then I'll zoom out. I've taught you how to zoom out already. Don't worry, if you just joined us, the session is recorded. You can access the full training model. I've clicked on that. You will notice that the color has changed, right? You can see that. Then I think the Vanessa is not pure black. So let me just select. I only know black and white color code on my head. Black is 000 into 6 places. White is FFF into 6 places. Every other color code, yeah, we have to use our eyedropper tool. Just select. So for consistency, I make use of the eyedropper tool. I'll select this or color selection tool. So if I zoom out, you can see the color code, right? Let's even check what they have here. So this is what they are using. Hash, you can choose to use their own, hash 212529. Let's see what if I apply that, how it's going to come out. So I've selected that. If I put 212529, enter. Okay, I think that's perfect. Let's work with their own color. So once I've gotten this, I can take this out. You see our hello Vanessa is coming up. I'll go to my shape to select ellipse, draw an ellipse for, if I click on this clip lock aspect ratio, if I change the height, let's say to 40, the width will also change. So we're using 40 for our image, 40 by 40. Sometimes to make it perfect, I will just bring it here and see if it matches. See that mine is smaller. So let's increase to, let's say 48. I think 48 is perfect. So you see how I do my designs when I'm replicating. There was a time I worked for a client, it was a redesign of something, right? It gave me sample and reference. Because of this, knowing how to, first you saw what I did, I scaled the design so that I can use my eyes to gauge the lane of the text. Then you see me bringing the circle on this. All of these things I'm doing is so that my design can come out 100%. You understand? So we've done the image. How do I get image? There's a plugin called Content Reel. I'll right click on this circle, come to plugin. Plugin help us to get extra resources for our design. Resources like icons, image, a whole lot of stuff, but basically icons, image, and some other stuff. So if I go to plugin, I'll come to manage plugin and search for, look at the content reel. So you type content reel, C-O-N-T-E-N-T, content reel. In content reel, I can get icon, I can get flags, I can get different stuff, image. But I'm coming here to get image. I can get date of birth, phone number, address, you understand, all these dummy kind of text. So for image, I'll just click on image while the circle is selected. Let me see if I'll find any image that look like this girl. If I don't find, I'll go for the closest. Oh my god. Okay, this looks like the closest. Sometimes if you click on the image and it doesn't work, just click on this apply all. It's going to put an image there. You can click on it again if you want to change it. till you get to the one you want. I think I like this girl. She's wearing a yellow shirt like this, even if their hair is not the same. So I'll just work with this girl. So I have hello Vanessa, welcome to Trip Guide. Let's build our search bar. How do you build your search bar? Notice that the color of this text and this one looks similar, but the search text is bigger than this. So I'll hold this, duplicate it with alternate, bring it here like that, type search SARCH. This is currently 14. Because this one is bigger, I'm going to make it like 16 to achieve that bigger feel. Then how do I get my icon? There's another plugin called Iconify. You come to plugins, right click. This is how you get to plugin. You right click, you see plugins, you come over to manage plugins, then you type Iconify. It's going to come out. Iconify gives you bunch of icons for your designs. So I want search icon. I'll just come here and type search SARCH, and I'll look for a search that is closest to what we have here. Sometimes you may not get something exact, but always try your best. That's what makes you an exceptional designer, when you try to be excellent. I'm looking for, look at the way the search is. This line is not connecting to the big circle. So that's what I'm looking for. If I don't see, then I can go for something. I've seen some that looks longer than this one. Like this one now, that line is too long. I wouldn't want this class to be too long. So anywhere we can stop for today. At least the major thing for today is me introducing you to Figma, right? And I want you to do this assignment. That's how we're doing this design. But we'll enter the design proper. This looks close, but it's not separated. Let me work with this guy. You just click and drag. You click and drag. Let me see if I can find any other one that's better off. If I don't say, I'll work with that guy. Oh my God. It's looking like there's no other one as good as what we're looking for. All right, so we'll work with that. So how do you leave here? You click on close. So I'll bring the search. Okay, I need to get this icon. I'll go to Iconify again, right click, go to plugins, click on Iconify. There are some icon packs, right, that you can get. I told you guys I was going to talk about the templates, this part, this template and doc, sorry, template and tool. If you click on templates, you can come over here and search for icons, like, and see free icon pack, right? So since we have come here, let me just get, I wanted to search for this, the network bar and all of that, the battery. So I'll just come and search for, it's called status bar, STATUS, status. So it's something like this. Look at this one now. So if I double click on it, these are templates, right? If I open in Figma, see what I'm looking for. That's, you can just select your email and all of that. Someone is saying I should come again. Don't worry, you can watch the video later and you will see everything you missed. You understand? So I'm opening that stuff. I clicked on open, so it's opening that file. So once I can access the file, I'll be able to copy that status bar. You can do same for icon pack, but our advice for now, just work with the Iconify. You understand? So look at the time now. You can see it. If I'm designing on a dark mode, I'll use this. If I'm designing on a light mode, I'll use this. Okay, this is for Android. I'm working with iPhone, and this is that navigation stuff, right? So I'll copy this one, press Ctrl C, go over to my file. Let's close this for now. I'll come here, right click, paste. So I'll just bring this inside my frame. You see that I'll align it to the middle. You can choose to even drag it to the edge if you want, like just drag to the edge and drag this other one to the edge. Then I'll bring it down, align to the middle like that. So I've gotten this part. So I want to get my network bar, same status. I'll select this, copy it. Hope you saw how we got there, right? I came to this my home screen. You understand? Instead of recent, I clicked on template. Template, you will see resources other designers have created. So you can get, just type status, you will see your status bar. These things are things you can do. Trust me, you should be able to do this. So if I right click and paste here, I've copied the network. So I'll just replace it with this one, like take that out and bring this here. So ensure you take it to the edge like that. So that's how it is. I think it's not, so let's just align it to the middle, because it seems the battery is not directly on this edge. So let's work with it like this, or we can even take it further, like put it inside. iPhone, they have their issue because this place will be curved eventually. If I want to curve my screen, I can do something like this, like select my frame, come over to appearance, corner radius. If I do something like 60, you see that it has curved, but I don't curve this except maybe during presentation. So let's leave it at the normal 0 for now and build. Let's turn off our layout guide to see if our design is coming out well. If I click on the frame, I come over to layout guide, I'll click on the eye to hide it. Then let's see. Okay, there's something I need you to notice. If I zoom out, you notice that this search bar is white, then the background is not pure white, right? So we want to make our own background similar to this. I think the background is on this color code, which is this one, F5, F6, F7. Or either you use that, or I can just do same thing I did here. I'm selecting this guy now. I'll come over to the fill color. It's currently white. If I click here, take my eyedropper tool or color selector, and I click here, I've gotten that background. So it's no longer pure. I remember pure white is F into 6 places. Or I can use, let me try their color code and see. Their color code is F5, F6, F7. This is F4, F6, F8, F5, F6, F7. Okay, that's that. Then oh my god, okay, you see that this is white, right? So if I can change this to white, but I don't want to do that yet. But let me just change it to white. F F F F F F into 6. Then I'll bring my search inside. If I want to get this curve stuff, I'll select, see how we're combining shapes to form our design. I'll go to appearance after selecting that and type 24. It's not curvy enough. I'll make it 48. I think 48 is good. Then this guy is not exactly black. I think it's this same color for the Hello Vanessa. I'll select it. You can copy color code. I'll go to fill, press Ctrl C to copy. Select my search. It's currently 00. I'll paste it. So I have that. Then my search button, my search text rather, I'll just bring like this. Select my icon, bring it close. There's something called auto layout. So auto layout is like adding a responsive frame to your component, right? So if I hold shift and click on search, I'll select both items. So to select more than one item, you hold shift on your keyboard. If I want to select this image, for instance, I'll hold shift, click on the image so that it's selected. If I hold shift click on welcome. So if I want to select multiple items, I'll just keep holding shift. To unselect, I'll click outside, right? So we want to create this stuff. So let me get a circle first. I'll draw a circle, a perfect circle. um, I have that color code copied. I'll come to this field, paste it there. This circle is almost as big as the image, and we use 48 for this, right? It's currently 33. I will lock the aspect ratio so that when I change one side, the other side will change. So 48 is good here. Sometimes we may not get the exact icons, but we'll just try our best. The goal is to make the design as close as what we're trying to replicate. Let me even check out something. If I bring this here and see if you see that my own is looking bigger, so I'll reduce it like that. I see the essence of me bringing this image close to my frame so that I can use my eyes. So what's the height now? This is 55, and what I have here is what? 58. Okay, let's use, I like using even number. Let's use 56 for the height. 56 and 48. I'll just, okay, it's in the middle now. So let's try to get our icon. Once it's 8:20, we'll stop the class. We have just like 9 minutes more. I don't want to take too long. Anywhere we'll stop, we'll continue in our next class. But you go and do this one we've done so far. At least I've shown you how to get the network bar. I've shown you how to get this part from templates, right? I've shown you how to use content tree to get the image. Let's quickly get this filter icon. I'll right click, go to plugin, go to iconify. Any plugin you use will appear in the recent. I'll come here and search for filter, and I'll just check it out. Let's see what the one we're looking at looks like. This is 2. I've seen 3. I'm looking for 2. Okay, let me take out this 3 first. If the 2 I see is not as fine as the 3, I'll use the 3. I just try to always make my design look exactly. Sometimes you might not get the exact icon because probably they use some specialized icon pack to have that uniqueness, right? So if the icon pack we're using, Iconify is free. So if you're using Iconify, it doesn't look exactly like what you are replicating. You may just have to move on with it. But let's keep going. If we see something that looks like, oh my God, my voice is already going. Teaching is a lot, trust me. I think there's nothing as close as okay, look at this 2. This is 2, but it's facing up and it's not a perfect circle. Let me see if I'll see the one facing down. Sometimes they're always close to each other. Look at the one facing down now. I think that it's not a perfect circle. So let's vote in the class now. I have these 2 options. Quick votes. This one is A, the 3 is B. Which one should we make use of for those of you following? A or B? Type A or B. I'm going to come and check out your votes. A or B, A or B. This is A, this is B. Which of the which one looks more preferable? We're trying to achieve something like this, but we couldn't find. So A or B, which one do you choose? Let me come and see your votes. Okay, you are choosing A, right? Okay, A is good. Let's work with A then. So I'll just bring A this way, and yeah, I'll just align it to the middle. So once you see that red line is in the middle vertically, once you see the second is in the middle horizontally, then I would make it white. This is pure white, of course. The color is 0f into 6 places. I've made it white. I'll hold shift to select. I'm selecting the icon right now. Hold shift to select the circle. Then I'll press shift A to combine them together. See, auto layout. When you use shift A, it's called auto layout. And the frame is like this. You see this thing that looks like this, right? Those two rectangles, one is longer than the other one. That's the sign for auto layout. I can call this filter. You can name your frame filter icon. Then for the search icon and the search text, I'll combine them together. I'll select both of them by holding shift. The spacing between them right now is 5. I'll make it 8. Then I'll press auto layout, shift A. I'll call this search, search icon. So I've named this search icon, I've named this filter icon. Now I want to combine all of them so that I can form my search bar. So see what's going to happen. I'll select this guy, select the rectangle, and come to my position. I'll align all to the middle vertically like that. Okay. I'll press shift A. Once I press shift A, I've added auto layer. So I've combined all of them. You see that they are now moving together, right? But something is interesting here. From this edge to my this thing, what's it called? To the search icon, the space here is bigger than from the filter button to this edge. So how do I achieve that? While I've added my auto layout, I'll come to my control panel. This 6 you are seeing currently is the spacing between the content and the edge of this screen. You can see the 6 there, right? If I come to this other side, you see 6 also. So I think this 6 is fine here, but I want to increase this side. How do I do that? If I do, let's say I give it 16, see that it has come inside. So I want 16 for this side, but I want this side to maintain 6. So I'll come to this place. This is called individual padding. So if I click on it, it will break my padding. The 4 rather was for up and down. So for the 16 now, don't worry if you are not getting. When you are rewatching the video, you get it. So this is the left padding and this is the right padding. This is the left, this is the right. So I'll maintain 16 here, but I want this guy to be 6. So I'll just come to the right, left, okay, right, and give it 6. So I have that kind of stuff, almost like their own. I think their own is even way more than 16, but let's just leave our own like 16. So it will not be too. Oh, I like my design to almost look like that, but let's work with this. No big deal. Then I'll bring this up a bit. These two, I will combine them together. Auto layout, to use auto layout to combine related items. So I'll combine those together. Let's space it by 4. Then this and this are related, right? I'll combine them together. Press auto layout. So I've added the Vanessa to welcome, then both to this. You understand? So you can name your frame or just leave it like that. So next thing we want to do is our select trip. We have 2 minutes left. We'll just stop here. I think we should just stop here. No need to go further. But if I click on text or I select this Vanessa, I can use alternate to bring it down, like duplicate. Then I'll do select your next trip. If it's coming down, like you just come to your layout and click on auto width, it's going to make it one line. But this is looking too big. The Vanessa is bigger than this. So if this is 24, let's do 20. Okay, cool. Then our buttons, Asia, Europe, and all of that will come here. I don't want to go beyond this for now. So let me just bring this down. This will take our button space. And yeah, let me turn on my layout guide and see if everything is in place. Okay, everything is sitting on the line. I'll turn it off by clicking the eyes. So this is where we have come so far. I will allow you go and do your own. So a quick recap, we went to Dribble and we use Rona's IT travel to get this image, right? Go to Dribble. Dribble is dribble.com, triple B. Then for our icon bar, we came from home and we know we have recent, then we have template. If you click on templates, you come over to this search and type status, status, status bar. If you press enter, you just hit okay, it's already up. So look for which one did we use? We use this one, this particular one that has both the top and the bottom. So that will be all for now. In our next class, we'll continue the design. I think on our next class, we'll do like 2 screens. So get ready for more. Since we'll not be doing introduction, we'll go straight to design. But go and do what we've done so far. And you know how you can share your design, right? Or maybe we'll leave the sharing for now till we complete our first screen. So just go and do your design. I'm going to drop a poll in the group. Then I'll ask if you've done your assignment, click yes. You can use that for now for me to know people that have done. By the time we complete 1 screen, that's in our next class, we'll be doing 2 screens by then. You can now share your link. I'll make space to share your link, right? Thank you very much for staying to the end. Benson is asking, is there any difference between free version and paid version? Free version of what? Is it Figma, or I guess you're referring to Figma, right? Benson Ogenekewe. Yes, there's a difference between the free version and paid version. The free version has some form of limitation, right? But the paid version is exclusive. You can do as much as you want to do, right? That's how it works. So at the end of the training, I'm going to make availability for you to move to pro. You understand? I'll teach you how to do that, how to get pro. But the free version can carry us for this training. So thank you very much for staying to the end. Do your assignment. That's how you don't know design by learning, you know design by doing. So if I were you, I wouldn't wait till the next class. Our next class is on Friday. Use this night, use tomorrow, do your assignment, and of course, we'll move from there. Definitely, they'll be different. All right, cheers. Good night. I'll see you guys in our next class. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you, Oluwaseun, for enjoying the class.